Alright everyone, today is the day that the new season begins, in a way. We've even got new graphics on the channel. It's a big day and I'm pretty excited, hopefully you can tell that. We've had the Premiership fixtures announced this morning, we're going to talk about that. Celtic are back training at Lennoxtown. We're going to talk a little bit about that. John Kennedy has been speaking in the old media as well. Kind of fan news, a few other things to talk about, and players signing as well. Okay, maybe not that, but you know, there are other things happening. And let's just start with what most of us started their day with today. The Premiership fixtures being announced, they were at 9 a.m. By the SPFL, and this is what we're looking at. Celtic's first 6 fixtures. I believe that is the custom these days. And yeah, the first thing that stands out to me from the first 6 fixtures is that there are a few tests in there. We've got the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th from the Premiership last season, all inside the first 5 matches, plus a trip to perhaps our bogey ground, is it fair to say, even though we did win there, thanks to Adam Ida, Easter Road. So some tricky ones there. The opening game, as you can see, is a 4:30 p.m. kickoff on Sunday the 4th of August, which isn't ideal. Kilmarnock do have a European qualifier prior to that match. That's the reason why that couldn't be played on the Saturday. I know a lot of fans unhappy about the fact that the champions aren't kicking off the season. I think that did happen last season. I think our game against Ross County, from memory, was a Saturday lunchtime game. But I feel like in recent years that hasn't really been the case, that the champions play first. I remember 2 seasons ago we played Aberdeen. I think that may even have been a 4:30 p.m. kickoff on a Sunday. So yeah, that's just the way things are. I do actually think Celtic should, the champions, who basically are always Celtic, should actually start the league season. I think that's a nice thing to do. It makes more sense, and I think we should be in the Saturday lunchtime slot, even if it meant we couldn't play Kilmarnock. I don't see why we had to play Kilmarnock. So yeah, it's not ideal for supporters. I think especially fans coming over from Ireland and overseas. Sunday afternoon, I don't even want to think what time you might get home from that game, but I know you'll all be there because that's what we do for our club. But just going back to the fixtures, testing trips there after that opening match, away to Hibs, away to St Mirren, both grounds that we've kind of lost at in recent years from memory. Then the big one, the first derby of the season, match day 4. That's from kind of my time supporting Celtic. That's as early as I can ever remember them going with a derby. I think it was match day 4 last season as well, possibly 5. So nice and early for that one at Celtic Park. Hearts at home after that. And then a trip to St Johnstone at McDiarmid Park, rounding off our first 6 matches. Yeah, a lot of big games at Celtic Park as well early in the season. You've got Flag Day, Rangers, Hearts, and then I think our next league home match is Aberdeen as well. When you throw in some Champions League fixtures around that time, there's going to be a lot of really big games for Celtic supporters to enjoy at Celtic Park. And on that note, a bit of good news earlier. The club announced that season tickets have completely sold out for next season. That's not exactly a surprise, but it is yet more evidence of the support buying into the club. And I think we just want our ambition matched by the club, and we want Celtic to try and reach our potential. But overall, yeah, I mean, we could look at all of the fixtures. I don't think there was any real surprises other than that. I took a wee look at the games that follow our 8 Champions League fixtures. Obviously, we don't know those Champions League fixtures yet, but the matches following them, I believe 6 of the 8 are away from home, which isn't ideal. However, I I think the kind of toughest looking one was Kilmarnock. I believe that's after our 4th Champions League game. We'll go to Rugby Park a few days after that. So in general, I think you'd like home games after those Champions League matches, but this is the way things go when it comes to Celtic, and I'm sure the team are able to deal with it. They've come through kind of harder things in recent years. A midweek trip to Pittodrie in December, I believe, as well. That kind of stood out to me. But yeah, it's a tough start to the season. I think it is a challenging start. There's big games there. I think equally it's an opportunity for the team to lay down a marker. And, from those first 6 matches, we should obviously be targeting 18 points. And I think if we come out with 18 points already, we're going to look very good for, another go at winning the league title. So that's, I think, the target, and hopefully we can start the season pretty quickly. So yeah, we have the fixtures. Now all we need is the team back in training, eh? Oh, there we go. There we go. The likes of Hyun-Yu Oh, Tomoki Iwata, Stephen Welsh, all driving into Lennoxtown today. Some young guys as well. Oh, there's the big dog, Kyogo Furuhashi. Now, obviously, the international players are missing from this video that was shared by Celtic. They'll be given a little bit more time off. Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnson are still actually playing with their countries at Copa America. So I guess when these kind of guys get their time off and return to Celtic, things will feel a bit more real. But we're back in training, and I think it's just good to see that kind of nice and early. What are we, just over a month on from the Scottish Cup final? That video, by the way, did just remind me how many average players that we still have on our books, and I think a fair bit of work needs done to the squad. We need some reinforcements in. Assistant manager John Kennedy spoke to Sky Sports News today. He's also done an interview with Celtic TV. I think it's fair to say the Sky Sports questions were a little bit more interesting. Plenty of chat about him wanting the team to make a fast start to the season, and also a few questions on the new Champions League format. Kennedy said that there's maybe not a huge change as much as it's 8 matches. It is still 6 before Christmas and the other 2 are after Christmas, so it may not make as big a change as people think to the first half of our season, but he did say there's a lot going on in that first half of the season. He was also asked about the prospect and the current situation regarding a new goalkeeper coming in. He said, "The club are working hard on that. Some targets have been identified and we've been working in the background. It's a key position for us. We know it's a position we need to get in, and we want to do that as soon as we can. Hopefully in the coming weeks we can have some news on that." He was also asked about the prospect of Adam Ida and Paulo Bernardo. You may remember them. Chat has gone very, very quiet on them over the past couple of weeks. Although, come to think of it, I've had beer as my kind of main source of enjoyment over the past couple of weeks, certainly not Scotland. But anyway, Kennedy spoke about that as well. He said, again, there's a lot of conversations happening. It's a time when a lot of players have been on holiday and different things have been happening. Hopefully in the coming weeks, a few things will start to happen. But there's a lot of plates spinning, a lot of work being done. So things going on in the background, says John Kennedy. I would certainly hope that's the case. I'm not quite sure the correlation between the team coming back to training and the recruitment team sparking into life. I can't quite work out where that kind of adds up. But hopefully it is the case. Hopefully now Celtic are back, we are going to see more happening transfer-wise, because there hasn't really been anything so far. We've not signed a player yet. I said yesterday, it is still relatively early, but equally, we've had a long time to look at certain positions, so you would kind of hope that maybe things would move quickly. They may still move quickly in the coming days. But yeah, Celtic are back, fixtures are out, the fans are back in the club again, season tickets sold out. So it's been a a positive day, I would say, ahead of the new season, and I'm very excited about what's to come. Sadly, to finish the video, a bit of sad news that our former midfielder Landry Nguemo has died at the age of 38. He was in a car accident in his homeland, Cameroon. So, very sad. He spent one season at us, you'll remember, under Tony Mowbray. So very sad news that Landry Nguemo's passed away. Our thoughts are with his friends and family, and we'll speak to you tomorrow.